Hello and good afternoon. I am Boro Winkel, your President and CEO. Thank you for spending a very special hour with us. Today we will install our 2021 Board of Directors, the Senior Officers, and of course, Alex Plishner as our new Chairman. We are very fortunate to be joined by Mayor Todd Gloria, who will administer the Board's oath of office. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us, and please know that we look forward to working with you and your administration. The mayor will also be sharing some of his housing plans with us. Mayor Gloria will be followed by Jeff O'Connor, our immediate past chairman, and Jeff will reflect on the year that was. Jeff, thank you for everything you have done and accomplished under really uniquely trying circumstances. Jeff O'Connor will be followed by Paul Barnes, who will install our new chairman, and of course, Alex Plishner is the man. He will be our last speaker. I very much look forward to Alex's speech. Now, this moment is somewhat bittersweet for me. While this is my 25th BI board installation, it will also be my last one. So a very long run will come to a good end this summer. It's been a most rewarding career for which I am very grateful. It all started in Riverside in 1996. That was a bad year for housing. 12 years later, I came to San Diego. And come to think of it, 2008 was also a bad year. But I will leave you in what will be a good year. And this is not solely due to strong real estate demand and our opportunity to shape housing policy, but also because of the accelerating beneficial impact of a vaccine. It will kill the virus and put San Diegans back at work, back in school, back at peace, and hopefully many in a new place they will call home. Our BIA is in great shape. Our volunteer leadership, our staff and membership base are strong and diversified. Our track record makes us proud, and our mission to provide housing for all San Diegans is noble, always inspiring, and critically urgent. The professional who will take over from me is a very lucky and privileged person who will no doubt help solve our housing challenge. I truly thank you for the job you allowed me to do. And with that, let's start the introduction of your 2021 Board of Directors.
Your 2021 BIA Senior Officers. Alex Plishner, Lennar. John Larea, H.G. Fenton Company. Chris Hall, Hallmark Communities. Jeff O'Connor, HomeFed Corporation. Jeff Chine, Alan Matkins. Boro Winkel, BIA San Diego County. And now, your 2021 BIA Board of Directors. Gaia Sorrow, Meridian Development. Paul Barnes, Shea Homes. Gary Christensen, Motivational Systems Incorporated. Bob Cummings, Merca Investments. Marcela Escobar Eck, Atlantis Group Land Use Consultants. Brendan Hayes, Fairfield Residential. Nick Lee, Baldwin & Sons. Mike Mahoney, Ryan Companies. Rita Mahoney, Coleridge. Mark Radlow, Sudbury Properties. Ken Souter, Wakeland Housing and Development Corporation. Jim Schmid, Chelsea Investment Corporation. Justin Suter, Pasco Larrett Suter and Associates. Alyssa Villalpando, Hunsaker and Associates. Dave Watson, Dwayne Morris. Nicole Weinman, Jam Electric and Low Voltage.
Excellent. Good afternoon, everybody. Forgive us. We're all still learning Zoom a year into this, right? Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Todd Gloria. I'm honored to be your mayor here at the city of San Diego. And watching those faces across the screen, wonderful to see so many friends, so many great San Diegans who are going to be helping to lead the BIA in the year ahead. I want to start by just a word or two for Bora Winkle. Bora, thank you for your service to San Diego through your leadership of the BIA for the last 13 years. I agree with you. 2021 is going to be a good year. We're not out of the woods yet, but we can see the sun on the horizon, and that gives us hope that we can certainly build a better San Diego and a better world here in this new year. And I thank you again, sir, for your good work on behalf of the BIA. And to all of my friends who are stepping up for leadership positions in the BIA this coming year, I thank you for what you're embarking on. Many of you are continuing your service. Some of you are new to your service. And of course, to those who are leaving the board, thank you for your past service. This is an important time. Despite our historic economic recession and public health crisis, San Diegans continue to grapple and deal with a significant housing affordability crisis. And I see the BIA as partners with my administration to do our very best to address this significant crisis, one that continues to occupy most of the conversations I have with San Diegans, which I think is so telling at a time when we're concerned for our personal health, the health of our loved ones, and our personal finances and the finances of our family, that people continue to prioritize their concerns with me about whether or not they can afford the rent or to buy a home in the city. As Bora mentioned, this administration was elected on a strong pro-housing platform, recognizing the acuity of the need in the community and the need to build more homes for San Diegans at prices that they can afford. I again see the BIA as partners in this effort, working closely with my administration led by the incredible Elise Lowe, who's leading our Development Services Department, as well as Mike Hansen at the Planning Department. I believe that we can work better together to make sure that as we defeat COVID-19 and we set apart the business of restarting our economy and putting people back to work, that we have the policies and the operational procedures in place to make sure that that goes as smoothly as possible. We're going to build on the successes of 2020 with regard to the passage of complete communities and ballot measures like Measure E, and look forward to having new opportunities that really works with local builders to make sure that we're building housing that is affordable for working and middle-class San Diegans. When we know that roughly half of our community cannot afford to live here because of the housing prices, we have to make sure that we are doing everything we can to build more houses generally, but specifically more homes that working people can afford. The folks who too often approach me and say they can't afford the stuff that the market is bearing, but certainly earn too much to qualify for the programs that we provide here at the city. If you can share with me ideas that you have on how we can improve and grow that part of our housing economy, myself and my administration are all ears. We would welcome your partnership in making sure that, again, we build more homes in general, but more homes for working folks. I think that will take the form of a variety of incentives, again, building on the Complete Communities proposal, new ideas like a middle income housing trust fund, as well as leveraging existing city facilities and properties to make sure that we have the land available near the jobs and infrastructure that is necessary to build more homes. And even in this difficult budget environment here at the city, that we continue to prioritize community plan updates and other innovative policy solutions that will give more San Diegans a hope at being able to afford the rent in the city, and more importantly, to be able to buy a home in the city, build wealth, and raise a family right here in America's finest city. So as your proudly pro-housing mayor, I'm happy to be here with our local community's pro-housing organization to swear in the new board of directors. And so I'm going to grab the script here. I'd ask the members of the BIA board of directors, when you were elected or appointed to the board of directors, the members of this association demonstrated their trust in you and their belief that you will carry out the duties of your office in a responsible and effective manner. So I ask you to please raise your right hand and respond with an "I do" at the conclusion of this oath. So I believe we have your cameras on. We can see those hands. Bora and Matt Adams, we're going to keep you all legit to see those hands in the air. So as a member of the board of directors, it is your responsibility to ensure that the association meets all of its legal obligations, to develop and approve plans which will further the goals and objectives of the association, to provide your leadership with the resources necessary to carry out the plans and programs of the association, and to see that controls are established which ensure the orderly operation of the association. As the newly elected directors of the Building Industry Association of San Diego County, do you accept this charge from the members of the association?
I do.
I do.
I do. I do.
I do.
I do.
Congratulations, you are now officially a member of the 2021 Board of Directors of the Building Industry Association of San Diego County and full-fledged partners with the Gloria administration to building housing a future that is brighter for every San Diegan. Thank you also very much for your service to San Diego. As your mayor, I can't be more grateful for your help in this important endeavor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That was very, very kind of you. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. And thank you, everybody, for attending. And thank you, Mayor Gloria. And once again, congratulations on your impressive win. And we look forward to working with you and your staff. A year ago, which was the last time I wore a tux, I was telling stupid golf jokes in front of 750 people at last year's installation dinner. This year, my wife said, please don't do that again. So I read Hammer's outgoing chairman's speech from last February, and I could have just copied and pasted most of it, as a lot has not changed in the last year. We are still dealing with the housing crisis, NIMBYism, and environmental extremism. In fact, last week, I was reading news from the CBIA and BIA and saw an interesting article. Last year, the 4 largest cities in California built less than 20,000 single-family homes, while in Texas, the 4 largest cities, which include Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston, built more than 140,000 single-family homes. This is why California has some of the most expensive housing in our country. But could it also be why California has the highest COVID cases in the US? Families are forced to double or even triple up in the same house because homes are so unaffordable. Most states are building more while we are building less. Mayor Gloria last week told us he is more worried about people who can't afford a home than he is worried about no growth people. We should support him 100% on this. Remember, governments don't build houses, we do. We need the government to help cut the roadblocks and make the process easier. So last week we said goodbye to a very special person. I only knew Alan Jones for a few years, but in that time I found out what a great person he was. On multiple occasions, whenever I needed a speaker to speak in front of City Council in Santee, Alan stepped up every time. Whenever we shot videos, Alan won the Academy Award every time. We will miss Alan. In concluding, we had a very interesting year. I learned a lot and truly enjoyed working with staff and every board member. Thank you everyone for your help. I could not have done it without you. This year's board is terrific. We have great leadership with Alex, so let's all work very hard and make 2021 a great year. Thank you. One last thing I would like to share with you. Danielle, it's picture time. I'm assuming the picture is up. A year ago, if I walked into a bank dressed like this, in a scarf over my nose, sunglasses, a hoodie, and a baseball hat on, I would have been taken down by 3 security guards in a matter of seconds. Yesterday, I walked into my bank dressed like this, and the teller said, "Good afternoon, sir. How may I help you? How may I help you today?" Who would have thought of that? This is the picture that I walked in the bank yesterday with. Anyways, now I would like to introduce a person that I've had the pleasure of working for many years. This person is a pioneer in the home building industry. Please let me introduce Paul Barnes, who will install our 2021 BIA chairman.
Okay, Alex. Alex, hey, I'm honored to be installing you as the chair of the San Diego BIA Board of Directors for 2021. But before I start, let me get your picture up there. Alex, you going to join me?
There,
Hey there.
I'm here.
Okay. Alex, first, before we start, do you have a green light from Liz on this? You're a very elegant wife.
I think so.
Well, let's confirm that. So make sure.
I will.
Alex, as you know, the San Diego Association is one of the preeminent drivers in the state of California in the advancement of housing. It's a force that is recognized for taking principled positions on all matters housing and constructing our built environment. It's unique in that it is a broad coalition of builders, trades, design professionals, and support businesses that make up the industry. There's diversity of thought and strength in numbers, creating well-governed positions to advance, putting roofs over people's heads. And my friend, you'll be in charge of that for the next year. Our industry, like most of society, has gone through a great amount of change in the last year. Likewise, the association is going through change with a recent announcement of Bora's retirement. Some people are just not meant to retire, but Bora is determined that it's time. Bora, we're really going to miss you. You've been a great asset to the San Diego landscape for the last, sounds like 12 years. And we'll see how fast you leave town. It might be a little longer than you think, but I cannot think of a better person to work through this transition than Alex in representing our industry during this time of transition. The first time I met Alex was approximately 20 years ago. Alex, I don't know if you remember that. You came into the office, but I knew immediately that he would be a leader in our industry and a true asset to the building industry. He was passionate, strong of opinion, and had great enthusiasm to get things done. He was also one of the most emphatic people I know on design. And it is with this passion and work ethic that Alex will lead our industry through this period of transition. And I'm certain the organization is going to be better from his input over the next year. So Alex, with that, let's get you sworn in. If you could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Alex Plishner,
I, Alex Plishner,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully perform the duties and responsibilities
that I will faithfully perform the duties and responsibilities
of Chair of the Building Industry Association of San Diego County,
of Chair of the Building Industry Association of San Diego County,
in accordance with its bylaws and policies.
in accordance with its bylaws and policies.
I will, to the best of my ability,
I will, to the best of my ability,
uphold the principles and purposes upon which it was founded.
uphold the principles and purposes upon which it was founded.
Alex, congratulations. May the year ahead be one of accomplishment and reward for you, your family, and especially the association. From now on, I'm going to have to refer to you as Mr. BIA Chairman. Congratulations, Alex.
Thank you. Well, hello, everyone. Good afternoon. You know, I have to be honest. I started writing the speech a little over 2 years ago, the day I was asked to take a senior leadership position with the BIA. It was a genuine honor, the biggest honor of my career, and yet also a little surprising as well. Not because I didn't feel worthy or didn't feel ready. I just didn't realize yet what others saw in me. I was the guy on the board who lost my cool at a moment's notice when someone mentioned anything that didn't seem right. I mean, all we were trying to do was build and sell homes to people that wanted one. How hard is that? Still, when thinking about the speech, I never thought about giving it like this. Over the computer, looking into a small camera, with a few hundred people watching at home. Regardless, it's my absolute pleasure to be before you today. It's actually been a long time coming. I've gladly accepted the prestigious honor of being on this board for 13 years straight. And it's just that, and I don't take it lightly. As many folks who know me, year after year, I've shown up to every board meeting at the BIA office with a suit and tie on. And also, if you know me, I never wear the same outfit on any other day. In fact, my colleagues at Lennar know that the fourth Thursday of the month, when I walk into the office with a suit on, oh, Alex must have a BIA meeting today. It's almost funny. Nowadays, the suits are collecting dust. I've now regulated my attire to fashion by Costco. Hey, don't knock it. I dare you to find anything on earth more comfortable than Kirkland sweatpants. But hey, at least I dusted it off today. The bottom line is, it goes without saying, things are very different nowadays. And the hardest thing I've had to do right now is to speak to you without getting to see your faces in return. Oh well, please know I will try my best. Those that know me know I don't know any other way. So first off, I want to thank our board. All of you were handpicked because of your thought-provoking ideas, because of your vision, your passion. I received so many texts after we finished our nominations saying 2 words: incredible board. I hope all of you join me in realizing the magnitude of the service you're now asked to do, to represent everything that's great with the building community in our entire region. And then to see the people I've long admired, all mentors to me, say they wanted to be on the board for my year of service is truly humbling. The people I thought saw me as not ready, now saying, Alex, we're here with you. Let's go to work. The first time I was fortunate enough to address this board, I came clean about something. I told them I checked the box on my application every single year saying I wanted to be a chairman of this association. I've certainly wanted this honor and hope others feel the same as I do. Certainly, the privilege to lead this group is not lost on me. These 20 people that were introduced to you today are fully committed to leading by example. Like I said, many of them are the people I've respected and even emulated. It's so humbling that 4 former chairmen came back on the board in support of me, and more important, in support of the cause. Guy, Jim, Bob, and Mike. To our senior officers who spent many hours together, group texts, Zoom calls, phone calls, even faxes. Okay, just kidding. We're in the thick of it, but I can't think of a more close-knit group. And speaking of close, I have to mention our vice chair and my best friend in the industry, John Larea. John, your time, your dedication, your enthusiasm for change, it's infectious. John is not a complainer. Rather, he's a brilliant problem solver. Anyway, I will always ride together with you, as long as I get to go at it first. I want to thank Paul, first for wanting to be on the board for my year, but also for the honor of having you swear me in today. You know, it's almost an oxymoron using the word swear and Paul in the same sentence. The most level-headed, most programmatic person I've ever known. I worked for Paul for 10 years. I can recall once running into his office, freaking out about a big problem at one of our communities, how this will snowball into that, how a big delay is coming. And I kid you not, his response was, well, you'll figure it out. Now check out the surfboard I found online. I'm in a bidding war right now on eBay. Anyway, that's Paul. Next, I want to thank our mayor for being a part of the event today. Your vision and enthusiasm for the city is absolutely contagious. I remember the day we were doing mayoral interviews with you over a year ago. And as you were walking out, Matt Adams pointed me out and said, "That's Alex Plishner. He'll be the BIA chairman your first year as mayor." Todd, you smiled with all the confidence in the world in your chances and said to me, "We've got to start meeting right away." As a partner to all our collective ideas, this industry will transform this region right before your eyes. Big things are on the horizon, as we know how much you value housing for all. Thank you again for your inspiring words. To the other people watching right now, I have to thank my Lennar family who are on en masse today, from all the way up to the top, from our new division president and my longtime friend in this industry, Ryan Green, and Jeff Roos and the entire corporate team. This company is the finest, well-oiled machine I've ever gotten to ride on. And I've also never experienced somewhere where the overarching theme is, what do I need to do to help you succeed? And to my team, to my fellow associates watching on, you make me extremely proud every single day. Finally, I have to come clean about something else. We're just the smoke and mirrors. The people that make everything happen are the incredible, dedicated, the hardworking talent that is the BIA staff. There is no doubt many have come through for you in the past and continue to look out for all our well-being. You amaze me, and yet you don't surprise me. We continue to have all the confidence in the world as you initiate your relentless pursuits to help in our pursuit of helping others find the American dream. My first year on this board was also the first year of someone else. A nationwide search brought us someone who ended up residing only 100 miles away. This polished gentleman with a name none of us could really pronounce came into our first board meeting, suit coat over a bright yellow sweater, an actual real bow tie tied perfectly straight, telling us stories of how much easier it is to do just about anything in the Netherlands than it is in Southern California. While all of us were trying to just understand the correlation. And now, 13 years later, Bora leaves us. But what is he leaving behind? A BIA in excellent financial health, a BIA with purpose, with honor, a force to be reckoned with in this county. And we owe all of this because of you. In your conference room, there may be a collage of all the BIA past chairmen, each with 8x10 frames. But you, sir, you deserve a billboard. Bora Winkle, you have taught all of us so much, and we will miss you greatly. You know, it's funny. For being apart physically, this industry to me has never felt more together. And really, it's because of all of you. Who you are, your character, your passion. Like I said, I envisioned giving this speech in person. Instead today, my wife is in the other room. I hope was able to log on and is watching this. And my 2-year-old daughter is asleep napping in her crib some 30 feet away. And for the thank yous, the greatest one I have to give is the person who makes my life the most fulfilling possible. It makes me want to be an even more dedicated person to everything I take on. My wife, Liz. With all the responsibilities in life, turning all of them off and clocking in as a full-time daddy, it's the toughest of them all. Yet it's also the most rewarding. My wife has it all together and has supported me and challenged me through every endeavor. Elizabeth Plishner, the love of my life. So what are we going to do this year? Well, as you can tell, this speech is not about what regulations we're going to fight off, what policies have to change immediately day one. This speech, this year, is about being proactive, about exploring what you have thought prior probably wasn't possible. This board has been tasked with exploring what is and figuring out how to sell it to others. Us, the building industry, the housing experts in our region, and develop a housing plan for all San Diegans, from housing our homeless to housing all the amazingly selfless people at the front lines during this COVID crisis. Our teachers, our police officers, our firefighters, and our grocery store workers. We graciously wait behind you in the vaccine line while planning the next great community for your family to find home. Housing for all San Diegans. So my advice today in this speech boils down to a few points. You see, us Plishners were, for some reason, really into giving lists for stuff when we're making speeches. My father, who's watching right now, yeah, what's up, Grandpa? Insisted on giving this list at our wedding. 30 important points about the sanctity of marriage, lessons in life, yada, yada. I don't know. Honestly, I really wasn't listening after point 15. Okay, just kidding. But in fear that you've already thought about tuning me out, I'll boil mine down just to 4 points today. Okay, number one, take the word I out of your vocabulary. Completely. Out of your job, out of your life. Rarely, if ever, things are done on your own. Bill Ostrom taught me this. Never solely take credit for anything and never point the blame towards someone else. Home building involves thousands of people working hand in hand. Everything here too, within the great building industry, under our guidance, will be discussed with the word we. This organization is too big and much larger than any one of us. We will do great things this year. I know this. In the words of the great coach, John Wooden, it's amazing what you can accomplish when no one cares who takes the credit. Number two, find what gives you personal motivation. In my professional career, it took me almost 2 decades to realize, but I was able to boil it down to one simple statement. My satisfaction comes from leaving something better than the way you found it. We all do this merely in the line of work we're in, but think deep down. Starting the Young Leaders Program at the BIA came from a simple idea. I merely thought about something that wasn't here and thought about something that could be as I sat on a BIA council in my late 20s and looked around. An idea which ultimately became a movement, and now one of the most influential groups in San Diego. What's your idea? Bring it to us, to any of us, again, to make something better than it is today. Number 3, be engaged and be present. Whatever you're doing at that present moment, focus on that. Recently, I learned this. Sitting down to a dinner with your family while writing work emails on your phone is not it. Do me a favor, everyone. Tonight, and every night for at least a week straight, come home, stop working, and focus solely on who's around you. Talk to your spouse, your kids about their day, and really listen. Have a meaningful conversation. By the way, a meaningful conversation only applies when both parties are asking questions and listening to the answers. Spend those precious minutes all in. When it's time to moving back to work, do that and be fully present in that endeavor next. When you're giving your time to this industry, be all in as well. Whatever it is, that's the most important thing at that moment in time. My incredible wife gratefully taught me this recently, and I'm honestly a changed man. At least I believe I am. She's upstairs right now probably saying, it's getting better. I also realized the honest truth, and that is you can't get back time. I've learned this from my whole family. Every minute wasted not enjoying your kids when they are kids, you're blinking before your eyes, they are now adults. There's limited time to enjoy the people on earth. I learned this from many aspects of my life, and certainly from family loss as a young teenager. All our work with the BIA at best comes third. First and most important is what you do with your family. Second comes the job that actually pays us. But to volunteer is something more noble than you can ever imagine. And what motivates you to do something better when there's no personal financial reward comes not from thinking selfishly, comes from thinking of a greater good. And finally, number 4, embrace change. And things will change. You know the saying, you can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last. We will do things differently going forward. We always have. But this group, all of you have this incredible resiliency to do so. We will be back together again, in person. And I've already decided to play God and have booked the night that we will do this the right way, together. The best way this industry knows how. As such a close-knit group who only wants to bring out the best in the rest of us, we will celebrate. And I'll be before you on August 14th, addressing the building industry again, the only way I know how. As long as you don't mind putting up with another speech from me. And hey, Bora promised to pick up the entire tab for the night. And what does he care? He won't see the bill anymore. Our theme throughout the year and all the way through our event in August is thinking back while looking forward, the future of home. We cannot deny the COVID world has had around us. It's encompassing our lives. It will certainly dictate our future, and rightfully so. The future of the landscape of San Diego is beginning to unfold, and every single one of us will be a part of this happening, whether we like it or not. Frankly, I'm excited for my role, and I hope you're excited for yours as well. I promise to lead you with my heart. Again, the only way I know how. Thank you. I so look forward to our year ahead.